Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In here, we want to change how we are saving things. As you can see in this database, we actually saved image selections as actual data here, which is image file data. And it's never a good idea to save that in the database directly. Maybe as text or as blob, it works, but I'd rather save those as images. So what I'm going to do is go to operations here in that table and truncate that table. So I'm going to delete everything in the table. So we still have that page loaded here. I did not refresh that. So what I want to do is change things a little bit. So we're back to our ajax.php file. So here where it says image selections, and we grab these selected images right there. What I want to do is save this content to an actual file and then save the file name here instead. All right. So I'm going to remove this. In fact, let me just copy this and put emptiness over here. Now, since we will always need this folder regardless whether we have a file or not, so let's move this away from there. Let's move it outward. Okay, so now what I want to do is save. I'm gonna call this one image. In fact, let me just do this here. So image selections here was equal to emptiness, but here what I want to do, since we have a folder now, let me duplicate that. I'm going to save this to I'm going to save folder and then create a file name for it, because this is our folder, but I want to create a file name for it. So I'm just going to call it image selection underscore, and then I don't know, I can put a random number here, but let me use a timestamp. I'm going to use time like that. That's just an integer. Now, in case you save a lot of these at the same time, that could create a problem. So at the same time, I want to concatenate a random number, a random 4-digit number from 0 to 9999, just to make sure that things are working as intended. Now, I don't know if this should be a JPEG or this entirely depends. Actually, we're saving these as PNG. Unfortunately, I deleted the data. It should be PNG, I think. So I'm going to put a .png at the end like that, because this is an actual image. So all we are doing is getting that data from here, from post selected images, and we want to put it in there. So here we are putting in just the file name. And so what I want to do here is do file put contents, right? So I'm going to do this file put contents. So the file name, first of all, which we have generated over here, I'm going to put that over there. And then the data we want to put when we create that file. So the data is in here. So I'm going to copy that and put it here. Now this data is a little bit strange. It's not the usual images. So if I inspect one of these here, it's going to show me the source. And if you see the source here, it's actually text that describes how the image looks, the entire image as text. So that's the source data we want to deal with. So here there's data, full colon, and then there's image/JPEG, which tells us, let me actually just grab this information here. I'm going to copy this and say copy outer HTML, so that I can take it to a new file and paste. And I want to do view word wrap so that I can see all of it. So as you can see here, this is just one image. All this text represents one image. So I want to grab all of this and save it. Okay, so this is the data that I'll get. Wait, am I getting the source or what? Yeah, so I'm just going to get the source here. So this won't be carried over. The data starts from here, data, image JPEG, and then base64 up to there. So what I really want is to, wait, I'm not even sure here. Up to here, this up to there is not data, it's just a description, but the rest of this is the actual data we need to save to file. So what I will do is grab this. What am I going to do here? I want to split this string because I want to remove this part and just remain with this here. But sometimes this could be image JPEG and not image PNG, because I could easily say remove that, but the problem is I don't know. Actually, I can if I not really. So what I'm going to do is just use this semicolon and base64 to split the image, this part here and the comma actually. So I'm going to use that to split, and then there'll be a first part and the second part. So I'm just going to get the second part. So I'm going to tell it to split this string into two. The middle part is this one, base64, comma. Then the stuff on the right is what I actually need to save. So what I'll do is, let's go here. Okay. So I'm going to put an equal sign here. And okay, let's just do this. Let's just say parts is equal to explode. Now I could use a regular expression actually. Maybe that would be better. Anyway, I actually know we're going to be using PNG all the time, so I think I'll just replace this. It'll make for less code than what I'm trying to do here. So let me just remove that. Instead, I'm going to do string replace here. So I'm going to do string replace like that. So what are we searching for? And this is the text we've copied from there, which is this. And then what are we replacing it with? An empty string. And then what's the subject? It's this one here. So paste like so. Okay. Good. So we put our file contents in there, but actually we can't do this. We have to convert it to base. We have to do a base64 encode. So I'm gonna do base. I haven't done this in a while. So let's do base64 encode like that, and we encode the data. So we just wrap this whole thing inside a base64 encode. Close that there. So this is how it is now. Okay, good. That should be a valid file at the end of the day. So we can test all this by just hitting the save button. So console here, let me delete that and just say save. Saving complete. Okay. Wait a minute, why didn't it tell me this? Why didn't it complain? Anyway, as you can see now inside image selections, we have the actual file path and not the contents of the file itself. Even on main image, we have the path to the file, just like here. Now, something I forgot last time to show you, that there is a new folder here, uploads, which was created as instructed. And as you can see, there's an image here, but apparently it cannot, the image is not readable. So this is a problem right there. So it means things didn't go as planned. Okay, so something I missed somewhere. So let me delete that file. Let's go back here and check our content. So maybe I shouldn't remove this comma here. So I'm going to remove that comma just to be sure that's not the thing I did wrong, because I'm not really sure. It's been a while since I've done this. So let me try again. I'm going to hit save. So again, we have a save there. There's another image now created. If I click, it still doesn't work. So let me undo that. Maybe it's not encode, but decode. So let's do decode, base64 decode there, like that. Wait a minute. Okay, so let's try it again. Let me hit save. Let's see if any of these images, okay, so finally we have what we want. So it's actually not encode but decode. So finally the image works. And I'm going to delete these files in there, delete, and of course I will empty my database because now things are good. And I'm going to truncate. Okay, back to browse, and over here now I can actually do a save, a final save. So save, great. So we have the original image here saved, we have the selection saved, which is great. Wait a minute, there's only one that's saved. I think this was the problem. There's only one image saved there, which is not good. So let me delete this stuff again. What did I do wrong? Oh, okay. I think I know what I did wrong. That was because there are several files in here, but we're just dealing with one. So what I need to do actually is to grab this selected image. This is actually an array. So I'm going to copy that and do this. So I'm going to say images is equal to, and I will do a JSON decode like that. So what this will do is it will turn this, because we are sending this as an array. Okay, we sent this as an array of selected images. So we converted it to a string, but now we're converting it back to an array. And then we do a for loop here for each to go through each individual image. So images as, I don't care about the key, so I'm just going to say as image like so. And then we do this on an individual image each of those selected ones. So because we are doing selection, this is going to be a little bit weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do instead, you see, because I can't actually just save, this is just one file, okay? So, but I need to save as many images as there are, and I can't guess how many images there are. So, images, let me make another one called images or image paths like so. Let me set this to an empty array like that. And so I'm going to do image paths here. Okay. And I'm going to put that here and put two brackets there to say add to the array, because this is an array now. I say add to the array this file over here, and then do a file put contents. Yeah, so the file name, wait a minute, image selection. So we've created one file here with a random number, and then we've added it to image paths here. So I'm going to copy this. Whatever is at the end of image paths is the last item we added to this. So that's what we want to save in here. So instead of this, I'm going to put that. Now image paths is an array, so instead I'm going to use, let me do that. I'm going to use a function called end to grab, which grabs the last item in an array. So whatever we added last, which is this file name, that's the file name we're going to put here. Oh wait, my bad. Sorry about that. Let me undo this a little bit. Okay, so let me put that here instead. The file name is here, so my bad. So let me grab this. This is the file name we are saving to. So I'm gonna paste in there. I've put brackets so that I can put the end function. Okay, and then the content now is inside image over here. So that's what we put over here, like so. Okay, so a small recap here of what we are doing. This might not work, but this is the idea. You see, image selections, unlike selections here of text, this one is actual images in form of text, but they are also in form of an array that was converted to a string. So what we are doing here is just we are converting that string back to an array into this, and then we loop through that array to get the data for each individual image. And then once we do that, we create a path for that file, save it as a file, and then put it as part of image paths that we are going to finally save. And then since this image paths contains all the paths to the images that we added here, then we can convert it back to a string for saving. And in this case, since we are saving inside image selections, so I'm going to copy that, and right after that we'll put it here. And this one now is going to be equal to these paths over here. But because this is an array, we can't save an array inside the database. It has to be a string of some kind. So that's why we have to use the JSON encode. So JSON encode this guy into a string that we can actually save. Everything else remains the same. So maybe a little confusing, but hopefully you understand what's going on here. So let me delete that. Let's brace for some errors, and I'm going to click boom, save complete. Okay, so it seems we didn't get any errors, but let's see what we've saved. All right. So we've saved that, and we've saved an array here in image selections, which is nice. If I come back to my, as you can see, I'm supposed to see a number of images, which is exactly what I see. So I see all the parts one by one here, which is nice. But let me delete all of these and save this for the last time, because the first entry we saved was different. So let's make everything uniform by truncating the database. So operations truncate. There we go. And then finally, let's do our final save. Save puzzle. Thank you. So if I come back now to browse, I see the data here. And in my folder, I see the images one by one, which is awesome. All right. So let me close that. So things are working as intended. So this is all saving, and now we're going to learn to read back once we refresh, because once I refresh the page, everything is gone. I should be able to read it back and have somebody play the game where they drag and drop items onto there. Let's do that in the next video.